G'day, how you going? I'm Ianapolis, your acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a channel where I teach beginners and advanced beginners how to paint in acrylic. And the one I'm going to paint today involves a traceable. Before I get started, I want to get the sizes up there for you, and I will also get some colours going up the screen, just like that, so you can pause it and write them down if you've got the same colours as me. But don't worry if you don't, use something similar. Now I have a traceable for this, printed out to the size of my A3 size, and the link below, check out the traceable link. In there are all the traceables relevant to my videos that need traceables. There are people that do not have methods of transferring this onto your canvas, so I'm going to show you how to do that without any carbon paper or special chalks or anything like that. So get on over here and we'll get right into this colourful project. So like I said, if you don't have anything to transfer it, there's your traceable, okay? Simply put it against the window of a house. The light will shine through, so you'll see the lines from the other side. And I got a heavy pencil and just coloured in over the lines this way. So when I put that onto my canvas appropriately, with red pen, I use a red pen because I can see where I've been. I'm not going to put it on now, but I'm just showing you this for the sake of the video. That transferred that line there, okay? This line's just indicating where I want that silhouette. So up here, we've got the layout of the painting. It's kind of a lake scene, a beautiful moment here between two people. Now there's my horizon line. It's a tidbit under halfway. I've got a distant hillside out here, and I've got one closer up coming more forward. And see your horizon line? If you can, I like to stagger the forward one a bit lower than the front back one, okay, like that, so it doesn't look like lots of cards on an image, okay? And our foreground's going to be somewhere here, and we'll have the beautiful sky here and our silhouette in about this area here. Now let me bring you down and immerse you into my palette with me. I've got some colours here. I've got some soft titanium white, soft body paint. It's a lot softer than what comes out of these tubes. I call it craft paint. Poster paint, student paint, whatever. Now see this liquid here, for those people that don't know what that is, that's retarder.
What's retarder?
Retarder is a medium. A medium is an additive you're adding to your products that you're going to put onto your canvas. And that retarder retards down the drying time of that paint. Retard means to slow down or pull back. And this paint here, when I mix it with that, it's going to create a beautiful surface. So these colours, they're going to be able to just blend and melt together, okay? It's going to be fantastic procedure happening right in front of you onto the canvas. So let me get this all mixed up, ready for you to see what you can do in your art journey. So I'm going to get this onto the sky, and I want to just map it in. I'm just going to the tip of this brush, and I'm going to stroke that left and right and just get it nice and even so it looks like a freshly ironed sheet. You know when you buy brand new sheets and they've got all the fold marks in them, and then you put it on your bed and you iron them out. We've just ironed that out, ready to put some beautiful colours on there. Now down on my palette, I've got me grey, mid-tone grey, and I'm using cerulean blue, and I want to get the sky a grey colour. I want to get the sky a blue colour, so I'm wanting it a grey blue. Now I don't want it too blue, but I don't want it just stark grey, so I'm just mixing those two together, adding the darker colour to the lighter colour as you go. Okay, so this is going to be the sky colour. We could probably, I don't know, I'll go all the way across the bottom, pushing it on. I might just bring it up there like that, and then I'll leave this corner for a bit of warmth, okay? Some kind of warmth shooting up into the sky there. There we go. Now see here, as I'm doing it in straight lines, and sometimes you think, oh, you just didn't quite get there. Just crisscross those bits in. Crisscross them in. Don't be shy. There's no rush for your painting to be finished. Take your time and enjoy the moment. Okay, so I've got that sort of bluey grey colour there. Now I want to add a little bit of warmth to that. I want to get some of this red, and I'll pull it, oh, if I can find it now. I'll pull it into this grey. There we go. And you can see, do both sides of your brush, because I don't want to have any surprises when I'm up there. So we're getting a bit of warmth there. And I simply want to start from the top. Look at that, beautiful. Get this into the sky, get it to that colour there. Now what I want to do, I'm going to pick up some more, and so I can control this colour going into that colour. You've seen me do this before, you regular viewers. I'm going to stamp it in there like that and put these bits in there where I want them. I'm controlling them the way I want them to sit in there. I'm not brushing them in like I did to that, because if I did, it'll create big marks in there. Now I can control it. Watch. Softly push that through. And now we've got a sky ready to take on some magnificent clouds. I've got a fan brush. Now the sky colour is very wet, so some of those are going to mix in with this white. Now I might put something, let's say here, coming right across the horizon line. Now what I do with these far low ones, I'm pretty much looking for the top shape here, okay? Just like that. Stamp it on any old way, but give it some kind of body, whatever. And now look, it's running out. Everything on the brush is slowly turning to the sky colour, okay? So when it starts doing that, be wise, be wonderful, be proud, and stop. That's where you pick up your blending brush. I've got some blending brushes here, and when I blend, I've always got a kitchen towel. Now with this one, because it's going to be in the distance, I'll bring the bottom of this down into the atmosphere like that. So I'm going to leave the top, but bring the bottom down and fade it into that sky colour. Drag those ends out so they don't just finish like, what happened? Didn't quite cross the finish line. You want your clouds to cross the finish line. And I'm going to tickle, twist, adding turmoil. There's brighter and duller values. See how I've just made duller and brighter values in that cloud? I want to go right across there, keep it straight. Now see this nice big bit here? It's nice and sharp there. Nice and sharp. Now if you want, you can add some of that warm colour at the bottom of this cloud, or if you're quite happy and don't want to touch your cloud anymore, by all means leave it alone. Just watch if you want to do what I'm doing. That's why I go to the advanced beginners as well. They can do this. I'm just picking up any brush. Look, I've just got a little flat. I don't know why I picked that up, but it was the closest one to me. And if you look at that cloud, you can see it's okay, but once you start getting a better eye for your art, I'm going to start putting this down into the atmosphere. Now what I'm doing is a certain line, a wiggly line here, and I'm going to explain it to those people who might not understand. And there's probably some other people in there go, I know exactly what the guru's doing. All right, so I've created that base. Now what I've done, a little bit maybe there. Boom. What I've done, I've got some of this fingering up to go into that cloud, and the rest is going to blend down, but I also got some windows of the smeared stuff here, so it's not going to be all one value. So I'm going to grab the corner of my brush, I'll start at the top half and blend that into that cloud. Careful, if I go too much, I'm going to smash it away. And this is going to blend down into the bottom of the atmosphere. Okay, so I'm tickling the tops of that purpley colour, getting it dribbling up into that cloud. Now I'm going to get the brush on its end, and I want to kind of smear that down into here, so this bluey grey value is a little bit different to that. And just keep playing with it until you're happy with it, because you're the artist, you're controlling your world, you're painting there, all right? This is just the bottom cloud on the horizon. It's a lot of sauce for little spaghetti, but at the end of the day, these paintings are going to outlive us. And look at the weather we've created in that cloud. Now I've washed my fan brush, and just to finish that bottom off, I'm just adding more bullshit. You don't have to do this if you really don't want to, but it's a tutorial, so I want everybody here to have the opportunity to do these different things. I'm going to put something else very small now right in front of that, and a little bit of a body to it, like that, and maybe come all the way across here. Wham, bam, there we go. Look at that. Simply your brush on its edge, and just pull the bottom of that down now in a way where you can control it and you can see what's going on. Bring some of it down to a blurry white that's gradiating into that bottom colour there. Okay, boom, boom, dribble there. And that, hang on, let me just straighten this up a bit. that can do it. You can keep going till the cows come home. There's just so much you can keep doing with clouds. You've got weather, got depth right in there. When these mountains come in front of there, it's going to push it back. Now we'll put some over our head. Now I'm grabbing some more white and we're just going to put some clouds up higher in the sky. Now I want to come from, say, here, let's say here, and I want to kind of come over here to give them the looks where it's coming over our head. I try to teach you beginners how to do something so it's not so flat. Now I want to come here, that colour that's still on there, it's a little bit wet, luckily, I'll get rid of that. It's still wet. I'm taking so much time talking my box off here. Okay, we got one there. And maybe something right off the painting, just like that. That's right over our head. Here, it's important to get the bums on them, okay? Somewhere about there, somewhere about there. You've brushed it on. I didn't plan it. You're making your own bums, which is the base of the cloud. And now we're going to see how we got dull and bright areas. Try and keep them there. Don't blend the buggery out of them and turn them into a big one solid mash. And I'm going to twist, do some pulls in your twist. Get used to doing some swirly pulls in your twist, like you're painting some smoke or something like that. And just look at that cloud. It's just a lot more realistic than a flat one on the back of your painting that just looks like a pressed flower, if you know what I mean. And we're kind of, see, there's a nice bright bit there. I'll leave that there. I'll take advantage of that. And we'll tickle the top of this bit. There we go. Now look how easy that cloud was to do. And this one here will just simply, I'm going to leave those edges a bit solid and bring it out at the top there. I'm going to show you why in a minute. I'm going to teach you how to look at clouds. Blend that up there like that. That's just another cloud there. Bang. I want to get something here before I finish. I'll come off the painting and try and come in front of that and then up. Now some clouds, now see the body of it, how it's a bit of a line? I want to kind of distort that line and make the footprint a bit bolder. There we go. Now, as you go higher, you want your basic clouds on, then the next one in front of it, not the other way around. I've done it myself, I've done it wrong before myself. I have the opportunity in my tutorials to teach you the right way. Now I want to give this a bit of a bum. It's in front of that one we did before it. There we go. Keeping the bottom of it solid, just like that. And then we're going to twist, turmoil and blend the top into its cloud body. There we go. When you master clouds, you will not believe just how easy they were hiding from you. It took me years and I was so frustrated. Why can't I do a simple cloud? I'm going to have a tree there, so I might just put one in front of that, watch. Nice and bright and loud. Just sweeping. Because I'm feeling the sky's got a bit, it's gone a bit weird there. So that's why I'm just putting this one there. Something I want trailing in front, that'll do. And this will do it for the sky. So I want to leave that there and just slowly bring the top of that and whisper it out. So it's in front of that body of cloud there. I'm going to have a tree here, so I'm not worried too much there. Get rid of any little bits you don't like. Look, don't be shy, you're allowed to touch your painting because you're creating it. Now, how to look at clouds. Now, I've just walked outside showing you the sky here in my backyard. Now, see these ones up here? This, I call that your peripheral clouds, peripheral vision clouds. I'm going to go back to my painting and explain that, why I put that there. And you can see these ones, how they're going deeper into the distance. They're different to what I just painted on the canvas, but they've got the same principle going on. This cloud I put here, that's my peripheral cloud. You know, when you're looking at clouds in the sky, you might see your clouds, some big fluffy ones, wow, depth, thunder, clouds and weather going on, and those long skinny ones down in the horizon line fading into either grey or white. But what I've noticed that a lot of people probably don't realise, but they do realise it won't be when I tell you, is if you just let your peripheral vision look up a bit more, you see those clouds like this just popping in the window of your painting. And if you can, instead of just putting these type and those types in, or whatever cloud layout you're happy with doing, just remember to put some of these peripheral clouds maybe there, there or a bit up here, because you go out and look at a beautiful cloud formation and let it go up there, you will see these just peeking through. It just gives the painting that more element of realism within the picture. Before I give this a bit of a spray, because I might need some of that later. We've got water reflections, don't forget. Now I'll just give this a bit of a dry so as I can put in the next section. I'm going to grab some more of this craft paint. It's got some retarder in it, but I don't need it to stay open as long as I did for the sky. And I just simply want to prime in the water area, so which is probably from that line there to this foreground area here. So it doesn't matter if you go over it a bit. I don't want to go up into the sky with this though. So I'll get that up to there, and this way I won't have a white ridge in my horizon as well. And the same as the sky principle, get this stroked nice and even like an iron sheet. Now I'm just going to pick up this sky colour. It's a lot duller than what it was, so I'll pick up some more blue, some more grey, getting that going in there, a bit more grey. And here's all our sky colour here that's going to be there, and this here I'll add the red for that corner. So we're just going to simply put this in, get it right up to your horizon line. Now the simplest, bestest way to do your water is straight across the painting. Oh, where's that? That's about there, so we'll go about there. Just straight across your painting, and you can put darker and lighter values in it and waterify it by moving it from left and right of the canvas. I'm going to grab some of that red again just to get this darker. And I sometimes tend, if anything, to have the watercolours of the sky matching a little bit lighter because it's a reflection. And see, this bit here will be the darker value of the sky reflecting in the water, coming across there, a little bit more, coming across there. And there we go, right across the painting. We've got our watercolours there, all waterified, ready to go. Now without the grey, I'm grabbing the cerulean blue, and I want to incorporate some of that violety colour in it. It's pretty much a red violet. I normally use quinacridone magenta, but we'll get some of that in there to get this value. Now that's very dark. I'll just pull that into some white now to get a lighter value of that distant mountain, the very distant one, which is there. That's looking good. That's enough paint as well because it's only a small one in the background. So I had that one coming about here. So this one's going to come from about here. Block in your clouds like that. Come off the painting and up. There we go. Now I'll just block that into the water's edge. And this is a very distant mountain. A lot of atmosphere between you and it. Simply see the shape of it. You want to kind of mirror it, right? So come down here. Don't worry if this one's a bit scratchy because this is the reflection. It doesn't have to be spot on. No one's going to put a mirror next to it and go, ah, you buggered it up. And just let this get a bit scratchy like that. But what you need to do to make these reflections work on a dry painting is scallop them. Okay. The edge, you want some scallopy bits now. Just like that. Nice and sharp. You can change the size of the flat brush you're using, but see the edges, they become broken up and scallopy. Let's put a bit more of a bump there so as we can make some more scallops work. Now I want to get the other mountain mixed up, so I've got me paint that I'm going to use for it, and I'm going to add some permanent alizarin. So it's going to be another blue, but that background blue, but a lot darker than what that other one was we just put down on the canvas. So I'm going to brush mix this. Now I've brush mixed that, I've cleaned the brush, and now I want to load it up so it's not all gluggy, and my main aim is to get these shapes up there. I've got a couple of different filberts I'm going to try. Pretty much going to come all the way from up here. So what I'll do is I'll roughly get the height that I want, come scooting down, and then I can start blocking it in with conviction because I know exactly where I'm going with it. This is going to come way past that one. And like I said, you want to come lower in the water with this one as well. Now I'm going to use my other fill because that one's getting a bit like thick. I can't control the canopy tops of these trees like here, so I'll just show you. I want some air in them. There we go. And I'm going to slowly make this paint a lot more solid. See how it's very airy there? I want to get it real solid as I'm coming down. Now I've finished this foreground of trees and I've bought, there's the water level to that one. This one's a bit lower. I always like to do it like that. Now we just simply need to do the same principle what we did there. So we're going to get the reflections coming scratchy like this. Try and follow the height up there to your top. I'm getting it all scratchy. To there, to there. All right, we've blocked that in. Now we're going to scallop this as well. Now I've just wet me flat brush to load it up a bit, and I want to like chisel those scallops into this half of the reflection. So I'm going to bring that down, and then I want to start, keep them nice and level in cahoots with the horizon line. Get them out there. Make sure your brush is chiseled flat, otherwise you'll have either smiley faces or frowning mouths. You want to try and get these reasonably. We'll go like this first. We'll start from there and then we'll block it into the actual mass there. And what this is going to do, believe it or not, it just gives the painting a vibe of a more realistic reflection. It's very easy to do, and once you know how to do it, you'll be doing it until the cows come home. Your horizon line's there, keep them in cahoots with your horizon line, okay? That's simple. And that has given you the vibe of a reflection in the water. Now I'll just give that a dry. All right, now this colour that I just put on there, I want a lighter and a darker value. And the darker value, here's all that paint there. I'll give it a little bit of a squirt so we're rescuing it still. It's not going to dry up on us. And the darker value, I'll get some red in there, okay? So over here, we'll get some nice red deep. And then we'll make a lighter value just to highlight it. Now this goes along the water line somewhere, along the bottom and the water line of it. As this painting isn't going for realistic colours, so I know my waterline's about there. So what I want to do, see how I painted all those things in? I want to get some darker values of this radiating from the bottom. Okay, so go to the waterline, just sort of radiate up a bit. This is just something you can give more depth in your painting. Stick to that waterline there, keep it nice and dark, and then start scratching. Hang on, let's get to the waterline there. Start scratching it down into your, put it on there, and where you got it up there, just pull these bits down like that. They're subtly there. Plumb it across like that. Radiate up where you want them. Keep chiseling your brush so it's nice and sharp. There we go. Radiate up where you want them. And then this bit, pull it down like a water reflection. A little bit there. Pull it down on the water side before it dries. Don't go too far ahead of yourself, because if it dries, it'll start turning to snot and you go, why did it work for him and not for me? It's simply because you didn't listen. Okay, there we go. Now we'll just highlight some of this stuff as well. So I'm going to grab some titanium white over here. not too much. And let's find some of this and let's highlight some of that now. Okay, so we've got you can see the different values there. And adding these just adds more luster to your, what do you call it, your reflections. So if anything, get some of this mainly at the top, pinning down into the darker colours. See, I'll do a bit up here first. I want to control what I'm doing. Not everywhere, don't go crazy and go everywhere. Now we'll put some of this, hang on, I'll get a lot of that heaviness off my brush. Look how heavy that is. I don't want that in the reflection. It'll bugger it. Okay, now I just want to emulate some of those highlights in the reflection as well, just like that. See, tickle them into those dark bits and just hit it and pull it down, hit it and pull it down. So easy to do. You can do this. Practice it if you feel it's a bit of a mission for you. Finish doing this now. So I'm going to bring this in front of that back bit there like so and emulate that in the reflections. Easily does it, easy tiger. There we go. Pull it down, that's it. That's all you got to do. You're controlling and painting some beautiful reflections into your painting. You're not just stamping it on and pulling it down and going, wow, look at what I did. That's good. We learn those things as we get to this stage. And if you're beyond that stage and want to do something like this, this is why I try and teach in the one video, beginners and a bit of advanced beginners. I do a few different things in there. Well, I try to anyway. I can only do what I do, and either you like it or you don't. Hey, we're all the same. That's it. And that is pretty much your reflections without going too overboard and controlling what you're reflecting into the water. Okay. Okay, just give that a bit of a dry. Now this is where we grab our traceable. Like I showed you before, we've penciled in the darkness on the back. Now see the head on this. Get it to the size of your canvas roughly and see their head so it's in perspective. Things are looking in the right perspective of the painting. Roughly have their head, see there, that's the horizon line. So my horizon line's about here. I want to roughly get that about there, because if that's way down here, this is like you're looking at it at eye level and the people are like you're in a helicopter looking at them. It's out of perspective. Normally, your eyesight is at the horizon line, but sometimes there's different circumstances, but in general. So we'll get that about, we'll bring it in here a bit somewhere about there. And then, like I showed you before, I just get a red pen.
Why red pen, Ian?
Because I could see where I've been. And I want to show you a little hack when you're doing traceables, okay? Certain details, see like the hair there, the bottom of the hair? What you can do is you just put a line there, like that. See, I didn't go and do all that mumble jumble, because you make up the actual size of it when you're blocking it in. And this is roughly where the ground will be, so when I paint in at my ground. Now I'm just going to pull that off. What you can do when you've done a traceable, that just simply didn't go on there because I didn't draw it on there. I'll just put it back. There we go. What you can do when you've done a traceable is look at it and just kind of, you get your pencil and tune it up a bit to so you've got a perfect reference to paint on, because some people need every line possible. I'm simply going to grab a detailed flat brush. I call the little miniature brushes detail brushes, and I just want to simply paint this in. Now get the edges perfect, don't worry about the inside, and then you can come back and, it's got to have a bit of a butt there, you can come back and block it in properly. Now I've finished that. I've just put the line there where the ground is that they're actually standing on. And what I want to simply do is just put where the ground is like this. Can come up here somewhere. Go all the way down there. And then I'm going to use my mongoose fan brush, and see, I know where I'm going to paint now. So I've got my mongoose fan brush, and I'm going to load this up. I've done this in previous paintings, and I love this fan brush grass style that I... Now what I try and do, I'll start from in the guts here, and I want to try and get some crisscrossy. Don't destroy too much of your silhouette. There we go. And then we'll come along here, and I'm going to get some crisscrossy grass action going. And what it's doing, what I like about this procedure, it's good for beginners to learn, and then they can evolve from them, create their own brush strokes. But it kind of makes, hang on, let me get nice detailed unique reeds, grass, whatever you want to call it. When it's all blocked in, leave some of it airy there. Don't have it too solid. Get a bit up there. Look at that. Once it's all blocked in, it just has a great vibe to your painting. It's fantastic. And see how we've got little windows there? It's good to have that. Instead of, you don't want a big solid blob right on the edge of your silhouette of some grass or anything like that. It just looks kind of not right. Now I've just finished this side. I've brought some right up into the reflection there. I just disguised that bit of a mistake, put some kind of other kind of thing there. But you can see this is looking quite nice for the foreground there. Now we'll put in a little subtle tree here with some of these coloured accents shining into the painting. I'll just give this a dry. Okay, because before I put the tree in, I want to put a little bit of light colour there to make the tree look forward. So we'll grab some of the, let's say some white. Where are we? Let's put some of this over there. Now let's work out how grey we want this. Gradually add it. Both sides, because I'm brush mixing. I just love this when you sink it in front of the area where you're going to put a tree. So my tree's going to go about here. So what I'll do is I'll just highlight some of this around there, just like so, the same brush strokes that I use for there. Okay, there we go. Pick up some more, and I want to kind of, now if it's too bright, let's get in here a bit more. If it's too bright, just simply grab your darker colour, let it fan away, and it's going to simply add depth where your tree is. Now I do want to get some distinct highlights up and down of this here. There we go. Some of that, there we go, there we go. The up and down bits. Because that's what that brush stroke's all about. Get rid of those ones. And we'll put the tree in there. For the tree, I've got the black. We'll probably come right where I want the tree, about here. Let's just map in the tree first so we know exactly where we're going. We'll probably come out there, out there. Don't go too mad. Just sort of, well, we'll probably bring something way off there. And these ones can come up there. There we go. And that can be our tree. Got our tree. Now with the base, like I was showing you before, I'll show you. We're going to get the base of it mapped in front of that lighter colour we put there. I'll put the brush on, it's pretty much all on its side, and I'm twisting it as I go, twisting it, and it's going to start running out of paint. So I'll lift it off, reload it, and go again. Where there's a branch, you can get a bit of a knob there, and then come a bit, twist. Because you don't want it all the same size, you don't want it looking flat if you can help it. Another thing I can show you while I'm doing this tree, see how some of these branches, which I'm not a real fan of, how they kind of look swervy. What you can do to get rid of that look, if you keep getting that look and you're just not happy with it, when you got your brush on there, come along, stop, go a bit more, stop, make nodes within your branches, make sure your paint's the right consistency of inkiness, and then this branch is going to look totally different to them. Stop there and then come up there, just giving it some juttering straight lines. And then this branch would just look a whole lot different to those other ones that you've done. I've got to get it a bit wider at the tree here because it's lost its wideness right here. A lot of this is going to be sunken back with the foliage as well. All right, I've given that a dry. I want to get a different flavour blue than this. So I've got me phthalo blue, and I'll still use some of this permanent alizarin to get the darker value that I want. So it's going like a dioxine purple, and that's going to create our dark value. And I want to get a bit of white, not too much, and brighten some of this up there, just so it's not full on phthalo blue. I want to keep that cloud there, so I'm going to come off the painting, bring it over and umbrella arch it down, get rid of that big blob there. You should always start off the area you're going to paint so those blobs don't happen. And I'm going to come in front of that branch there, leave a window in there and zigzag in front of the trunk. There we go. See how I did that? I'm not just going to put a blob on the end of every branch. Try and learn. We'll start up here so it's not so blobby, and then we can come into the painting. Try and learn how to do these facets within your painting. Come in front of the trunks. We're sinking the trunks down now. Just fascinating itself through. Cover the top of that branch up there. And when we highlight this, at the moment this looks flat. We don't know what's in front, what's behind. But when we highlight it, that's where we get the opportunity to show the viewer just what's in front and what's behind. So this is all going to... I like this bit of the cloud there, so I'm going to try if I can to save that bit. Come in front of your branches there. Okay. That's all right. That's cool. We'll put something maybe there, just so it's not too naked. I'm grabbing that dark colour of that paint that I mixed. I'm just going to put some shadows under that foliage that I put. Now see, I'll get some darker values within here. And then the highlights will go, where are we here? Probably a little bit coming off the tree there, underneath that foliage. Because if anything, the light's at the top. Underneath all the stuff you've put there. It might not look like much what I'm doing now, but once the highlights are kissing it together, it's got the passion, because this painting is all about passion. The man and the woman are down there sharing their passion for each other. The colours in this tree are sharing their passion for each other. You just keep doing this until you're happy with the vibe of your shadow passion. We'll call it shadow passion for this one. Okay, where's some white? We'll get some white. It doesn't have to be fully mixed. I want it like that. There's the lighter colour. There's the darker colour. This will be the highlighted colour. It doesn't have to be fully mixed. It's marbled, okay? See all the lines in it? I call that marbling. Give it a bit of a dry. And then the tops are just lustfully highlighted. See the dark? Bring the darks in. You're leaving a lot of the free colours there. There's a little bit there. Okay, that's it. Now this bunch here, I want to bring in front of that one. So how I'm going to do that is the top of it, I'm highlighting it and bringing it right in front, sinking all that stuff back, tinkering it into that dark colour that I put on there. I'll tinker it into that mid-tone colour, and then I'll highlight the bit out here, a little bit under there. So you can see hopefully how this is in front of that. Now look there, I've just squinted my eyes and I can see this bit, that's behind. So this bit is right in front of there, boom, bada boom. Okay, we've sunken that bit back. See how the darks work now? They're starting to come into play. There's a little bit of light on that. Now I want to kind of bring all this forward in front of that other stuff right there. Can sink that trunk back a bit. The tree of passion. Maybe some here. And it's really finding out how to get the ones in front and behind. If you sort of go all over the place, it can look like a mishmash of something that's flat. You don't want mishmash flat. You want stuff in front and behind. Just going to get some of this colour and maybe drop some leaves if I want around there in that light area. Now we have these coloured trees here. I've seen them when I've flown in an aeroplane over all the suburbs there, but I forget what they're called. I don't know what they're called. Now if you're watching, give me the thumbs up, share and subscribe, and watch the next video in the end card as the credits go up the screen. Support my channel by watching more content. Okay, I just want to sign this in the corner here because I've got no room in the other corner. And hey, if you're a patron, thank you very much for your monthly support. It helps me very much. And if you're not a patron, hit the link below, become a patron and pledge to my channel every month. For the price of a coffee, you keep me producing wonderful content. Now we'll whack a frame on this. There we go, that's not too shabby. I'm going to call this one Passion. We've just got a nice lake scene. He's taken the missus out. Come on, darling, I want to give you some passion. And we've got a beautiful, passionate tree, and we've got the blues going. Blues and greys, it's beautiful, isn't it? And I know you can do it. Well, I had a lot of fun painting this painting, and I hope you have a lot of fun learning and painting this as well. Be sure to check out my links in the description below. Give me the thumbs up. Comment if you have a question. I love answering your questions. And tell your friends if you like what I'm doing. But if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell everybody, all right? Goodbye, good luck, and good on yous.